I may or may not have written an erotic novella under a pseudonym. I'm not saying I did. I'm not saying I didn't.
So now we know what the back selfies are for. What timing!
All right.
Hi, Mick.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right. Not too bad.
We,
nice to be here.
Your ears may have been burning. We were talking about you before you arrived.
Yeah, a correction. My ear may have been burning. There you go.
So how are you doing today? How's your day been so far?
It's been good. Yeah, we've been really busy. And what's really exciting is, I believe, Guinness Book of World Records is here, because after this panel, we're all going to do a conga line directly to my table and make purchases. No, it's been great. It's just my third time here at this convention, and I always have a great time here.
And when was the last time you were in Canada?
In Canada? The 51st state you're talking about?
Oh.
What? Did I say something wrong? All right. That's freaking ridiculous, right? It's not a matter of me saying it on foreign soil. As soon as I get back to the United States, I'll say it's freaking ridiculous, all right? So it's a little silly, right? It's a little silly, yeah. I'm trying to think. You know, you guys are my neighbors to the north. Like
we are friendly neighbors.
Yeah, friendly neighbors. Like I was just telling somebody a story. This has nothing to do with your question about the last time I was here, but
perfect. I
was a little worried about crossing the border last night, because I remember crossing the border. I was doing a show for Bushwhacker Luke. And I went to the airport, LaGuardia or JFK, and they told me the flight had been canceled. You know, get a transfer through Toronto to Nova Scotia. And I said, canceled for what? They said, weather. And I look out, I go, there's not a cloud in the sky. And they said, it's supposed to be pretty bad here around 4 p.m. I said, by 4 p.m. I'll be in Toronto. They said, I'm sorry, all flights canceled. So I called Bushwhacker Luke, and he was close to tears. So I hit my MapQuest. It's like 14 hours, right, to drive from New York to Nova Scotia. And when I crossed the border, I've been traveling now for 12 hours. And they held me up for an hour because they could not understand why I had 100 socks in my bag. And finally, a wrestling fan came over. I was like, can't you guys Google me? And then he was like, that's Mick Foley. He uses socks. Come on, what's wrong with you guys? So yesterday I was a little concerned about a similar treatment. And the guy he was like, okay, open up the side doors. Oh, Mick Foley. Like his voice rose like 3 octaves. And then he goes, hey, can you tell me a wrestling story? I said, I'll tell you a border story. I said I was on my way to Ontario to do a fundraiser for the Special Olympics. There were some former NHL guys there too. And I called my agent. I'm like, I don't have my passport. What should I do? He says, just do the best you can. So I got to the border and I said, I don't have a passport. He goes, well, you can't come into the country. I said, there's got to be some other way I can prove who I am. He goes, I don't think so. I said, can you Google me? I said, Michael F. Foley. I'm known as Mick Foley. And he goes, okay, where were you born? I said, Bloomington, Indiana. He said, where'd you go to school? I said, Cortland, New York. He said, let me see your ear. And I lifted up my hair, and he said, welcome to Canada. So, but I don't know. You know what? Let me do a quick search in my, I keep a calendar here. So while you work on another question, I'll try to get you the answer to this one.
I was going to say, I hope they didn't make you pay tariffs on those socks.
Tariffs, oh yeah. That's my favorite word in the world, right? Not compassion, not kindness, tariff. It's my favorite. Well.
Okay. So
sorry, I won't say anymore in case.
While you look through
he doesn't have any followers here, does he? Okay.
Maybe we'll stay away from that question. While you look through your schedule, I had just asked the room before you arrived, how many people have already been to the table to see you today? And it was quite a show of hands.
It's been great, man.
Get a show of hands again? Yeah. Okay. Now, when fans and people are coming up to your table to say hello, what persona are they most commonly bringing with them?
Oh, they usually Mankind.
Yeah.
They love the Mankind character. And I've got the mask here. So
I saw that.
what I try to do is exceed expectations.
Yeah.
So we give you the two different photos because I want people to leave with my best advertisement is your smiles, you know. So if I make people happy, that's infectious. I think Rodney Dangerfield here would agree with me. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I love the Mankind mask with the juxtaposition of the Mickey Mouse and the Disney shirt. I really love that. I think that's adorable.
Thank you.
So we'll stay on Mankind for a second then.
I have not been in Canada this year before this trip.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
but I'll be
welcome.
back in October. I think it's October with a couple of the 40 Years of Foley shows in Montreal, Kingston, and Ottawa.
Okay, so going east. East.
We'll see how those goes, and I might be back this way.
Beautiful. We would love that. We'd love to have you back. So I know you've talked about it many times.
Did you wear the flannel for me?
Did you just notice?
No, I noticed as soon as I came in.
And I did. Of course I did. You have your beautiful piece here.
Yeah, I sure do.
Can you tell us, just for those who might not know, because I see we have all ages.
Doesn't know? Okay.
All ages of fans here today. How did Mankind come to be?
It was a deep philosophical decision reached by the powers that be in WWE, who wanted to cover up my face because they didn't think I looked like a star. And the word Mr. McMahon chose to describe me was seedy. So they had a mask that was a prototype when the Undertaker's orbital bone was broken. And it was a design that they did not use for The Undertaker, but they liked. And they just had to find somebody suited for the mask. And the mask changed quite a bit. It was actually made out of metal, the prototype, but you really can't wrestle in a metal mask. So it became my thing. And eventually, people got to see that face that looked like a star's. And I'm so glad you guys have chosen to treat me like one, because a lot of people that he thought were stars don't quite have the following I do. So I really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it.
Now, you mentioned The Undertaker. You're a good friend.
Yep.
Thinking back to when you were wrestling and fighting together, what was your relationship like off stage, behind the curtain?
Oh, man. Well, I knew The Undertaker in 1990 when he was Mean Mark. And we used to travel together, split rooms together. Like, we were really good friends. And then you kind of drift over time. I remember sleeping over his parents' house, and I remember his sister taking us to buy what are those really sugary but delicious donuts? Not Tim Hortons, but in the U.S. Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme, yeah. Krispy Kreme. And that's pretty cool. Like, how many people have gone with The Undertaker to buy Krispy Kreme donuts? And then, I remember seeing him for the first time when he debuted at Survivor Series, and it was really, it was pretty surreal because on one level I knew that this was the guy that I knew and was friends with, but on another level it was like, this is mystical, right? This is incredible. So always loved that character. And then we always got along great. Like, he had his crew and I was never part of the crew. But I think he was just tired of wrestling people who were bigger and tall. Like, a lot of the streak matches were not actually mat classics. Bundy, Kamala, Giant Gonzalez, right? And I think he's such a great wrestler and such a great character. He just wanted to do something different. And that's when he started branching out, became more of a striker, started moving faster. So I was really glad that I was there for that transition period.
So does having what sounds like a pretty healthy friendship and relationship with someone, is that more of a benefit when you step into the ring?
It's not you don't need to be good friends with somebody. Mm-hmm. I compare it to when Jimmy McElroy and Chaz Michael tried to pull off the Iron Lotus in Blades of Glory.
That is golden reference. Golden reference.
They don't have to be best friends. But without that level of trust, there's no way they can pull it off. And it's the same way. I've seen great friends go out there and have terrible matches. I've seen people who don't like each other go out there and have terrible matches. I have great matches, but I've also seen people who are at odds and can't trust each other go out there and have bad matches because that element's not there.
Right.
Yeah.
So on one hand, you can go and bash each other in the head and then step backstage and have a coffee and just kind of shoot the breeze.
You can.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can, yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Hell in a Cell.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
We won't dwell too much because there's lots to talk about. But
or show of hands if you do not know what match
fair.
we're talking about. Oh, okay,
Fair.
you look a little
Okay.
confused, that young man. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
He doesn't even know.
Well,
I don't think he knows where he is.
with your is this gentleman related to you? Oh, he's yours. Okay. Well, the two of you, you're the wrestling fan? Well, if you feel like he's old enough to handle it, I'd say your field trip is to watch The Cell. We still call it Heck in a Cell, even though all four of my children are grown. Yeah, I think you'll like it. And then you'll have an answer of how did Mick lose his bottom teeth? There you go. Okay, does that sound like fun? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right.
Yeah. How many times have you watched it? Like,
Well, you know what? It's interesting because everyone's seen the clips, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, as soon as a team goes up 3-0 in the World Cup, out come the memes. Enough's enough. Somebody stop the damn match, right?
we all love a meme.
Countless skateboarding videos with God as my witness have been broken in half. So everyone knows the clips, but I don't watch the match often. I watched it with my kids like 10 years ago. My wife said the kids at school were talking about it. And I'll tell you what, if you've only seen the clips and you sit down to watch it, be prepared because after all this time, it still packs an emotional punch. Like it is a match that's different than any other match in wrestling history. You've had people come along and try to emulate it, but it's not quite the same thing. You know, we caught everybody by surprise with a way to start a match nobody had ever thought of and something to do that nobody had ever done. And there was just the human drama of trying to finish a match when one of the participants was not conscious. That participant
Spoiler.
being me. And you'll see how we pick up the pieces. It's not pretty, but it's pretty inspirational. It really is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Has it gotten to a point where it still feels real, or is it a bit surreal because of how big it's become from a pop culture perspective for you?
You know, it has become. It is. I mean, we use that word surreal quite a bit, but I'll just give you an. This isn't a Cell situation, but to me, Terry Funk gave the greatest promo of all time, and it only consisted of one word: forever. And it's in the movie Beyond the Mat where he's giving this promo after he retired for good from wrestling for the first time. Because this is like 82 and Terry was still wrestling like in 2018, you know. But he retired and his sweat and his blood and his tears were all kind of commingling and he was just saying the same word, forever. Forever, forever. And if you want to know how deeply that's gotten into popular culture, I was fortunate enough to have a golf cart ride around the back lot of Universal Studios in California. And I heard someone behind me going, forever, forever, forever. And I turned around and it was Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy cutting a Terry Funk promo from Japan. That's when you know something's gone mainstream, right? Yeah.
You know you've made it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So Hell in a Cell gets all the attention.
It does.
But oh my goodness. We got to pick this up. Are there other fights or events that you were a part of that you wish had been more recognized or more appreciated that you're personally like really excited and proud of?
Well, I do have my matches that I'm proud of, but I know I'm at this point. I don't blame anyone or wish anything. I'm just glad. After all this time, I'll be 60 next year. I'm glad I have one thing that people remember. And the truth is, 4 or 5 things really, stand out in people's minds. I believe I defeated the biggest star in the world, Dwayne Johnson. It was a feat so nice I did it twice. So sometimes people ask me about that. They ask me about appearing 3 times in the Royal Rumble, and that's about it. But I'll tell you what, you can meet any celebrity and have them in the palm of your hand if you just find out what project they loved that didn't get enough attention. I've done it over and over, and it's human nature. You can't help but want to talk about the things that you don't get a chance to talk about. So just try it out. Don't be cruel. Like, make sure there's some truth to it. Just for example, I did a small part in a movie with Willem Dafoe. And I'm like, I am not showing up and asking him about Spider-Man. And so when I saw him, WWE did a little interview. Mick, what's your favorite movie? And I was like, I think it was Sergeant Elias. I said, I think it was his portrayal of Sergeant Elias, the rivalry with Tom Berenger, Sergeant Barnes, And I even had, when Defoe goes down in death, he goes down almost like Jesus, with his hands out like this, which is what Dusty Rhodes used to do when he was getting sympathy from the crowd. And people didn't understand why they were so sympathetic, but they'd grown up for decades with an image like this that translates into sympathy and empathy. And so I remember seeing Willem Dafoe's face go wow, he wasn't expecting me to know that. And I think it's really cool if you have something like that. If I'd gone up and said, loved you in Spider-Man, he would have given me 2 seconds of his time. And instead, he sat down and had lunch with me, and we had a really nice day filming together. So just find out who your stars, the movie they liked that didn't get attention, they'll be in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
Okay?
I think that's something we can all try this weekend.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Now that you mention it. So it sounds like you have a bit of a no regrets attitude.
Well, I call it no regrets. I have a tattoo on my neck. I don't regret anything, not even a single letter. Yeah. You know that reference? We're the Millers? Okay, there you go. No regrets.
So no regrets, but ever any...
regrets.
I mean...
I've had a few.
Too few to mention?
Do you want to hear the birthday song I created out of My Way? Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, goodness.
And now the time draws near to celebrate that anniversary. Jim, been 28 years since that first night inside the nursery. You've lived a life that's cool since you began your fateful Earth stay. But now, much more than this, today's your birthday. A little more?
Yeah!
The years go by so fast. At every stop, you've cheered me on, son. That night in Worcester, Mass, I won the belt. I beat Dwayne Johnson. To think you saw all that, you've seen mankind in his best and worst ways. And now mankind sees you. So happy birthday. There you go. And that's the result of my heartfelt belief that one birthday song isn't enough. And I love the Beatles, but that's a rotten birthday song they wrote. So, I have like 10 birthday songs I wrote. Pretty cool.
Beautiful.
It's your birthday tomorrow? There you go. There you go.
Isn't it your birthday soon?
It's going to be my birthday on June 7th.
On June 7th. Well, happy early birthday.
6-0. I don't brag about much, but I think I've aged pretty well, considering everything I've been through, right? Yeah, not too bad, right? Yeah. Thank you.
Considering everything you've been through, is that ever an area where you have second thoughts in terms of, the physicality of your
I had second thoughts last night because for the very first time in many, many months and years, I took a couple of shirtless selfies just to track my progress, because I was down 98 pounds, and I think I've gained like 7 or 8 of those back. So I want to keep myself honest. And so I took a photo in the mirror of my back, and I zoomed in, and I was, holy.
Oh, not yet.
SHIT. Because I have literally thousands of little tack scars on my back. Just these little circular things. If you didn't know better, it looks like the world's biggest rash, but it's just a series of tack holes. So, yeah, all right. I just brought this to a screeching halt, didn't I? I think they were more disgusted by the shirt being off than they were the thumbtacks.
Out of everything that happened to you, what literally hurt the most?
We've all been there. A broken heart.
Oh, I was going to say that doesn't count.
I would trade in a broken heart for the worst wrestling injury I ever had because it hurts so bad. Yeah. You women out there, you know how to hurt people. You know how to do it. It's like you're trained. You're given a textbook how to break a man's heart. I would say losing the ear had to be up there. It was up there. Yeah. When you're losing the ear and it doesn't come. Yeah. You want to see it? Here, we're going to do a little magic trick here for this non-fan. All right. Come on over here, buddy. Okay. All right. So you can take this pen. You're going to go over to my left shoulder. Come on over to my left shoulder behind the table. You're going to lift up this. You're going to place the pen behind the ear. Wait, you got to hold it. Oh, you got to
hold it.
Well, no, you can't have it. It's got to be balanced. Okay, go ahead.
Like that?
All right, now let go. Okay. Now we're going to go to the right ear. What's wrong? What's wrong?
I can't.
Go ahead and put it back there. What seems to be the trouble? Now let go. Ta-da! Yeah. All right, right there, my man.
Well,
I think I've got a new fan.
a lifelong fan.
We're watching it.
Well, after that display, do we have any? We have questions. We have lots. Yeah. Should we just hop right into some questions?
Sure, let's hop into it.
Okay, let's hop into it. Oh, there's so many. Okay, sir, in the hoodie with the glasses here, because I saw your hand first.
Oh, the new one? Yeah, it was good. It was really positive. That they kept telling me they wanted to do the story, and I kept saying, I think it's been told before. But Evan Hunzy, one of the producers and creators, he said, we think we got a new way. I think by involving my family, it was really good. So it was so good. Like, if we're at comic conventions, we all know Bill Shatner, right? Bill Shatner is the grand poobah of comic book guests, right? Mm-hmm. Like, Bill Shatner's, am I right? Yeah, I'm talking to Sven Gulli over there. So I saw this documentary on Bill Shatner, and even though I'd met him like 10 times and he's blown me off in a word or two, I thought, this is a really good documentary, and I'm going to take time out to tell Bill Shatner that, no matter if he hurts my feelings by blowing me off or not. So I said, Mr. Shatner, he goes, yeah? I said, I just want to tell you how much I enjoyed your documentary. And he goes, I love Dark Side of the Ring.
What?
And I said, I just had an episode. He goes, I know, that's why I said it. The sacrifices you made for that business are truly inspiring. And I said, Bill, I'm going to be honest, I wish we were recording this talk. And he goes, do you want to? I said, yeah. So I handed a phone to somebody, and we repeated the conversation we just had. So in case you're wondering, Bill Shatner rules. Yeah. But it was a good episode. And it wasn't one of the darker ones. The dark part is where, people are, I guess, supposed to ask themselves, is it worth it, to go through what I did, And as of now, I say it is. You could revisit that in 10 years, and I might say it wasn't. But as of now, I get to travel around. I'm going to be 60, and I wear sweatpants and a fanny pack in public. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You can't put a price tag on that type of freedom. I eat funnel cakes in public and don't care what I look like. Cheese doodles, all the sloppy stuff. I don't care. I'm not playing by your rules anymore.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious. Ghostbuster.
You still have feelings after all this?
Feelings? Like whoa feelings, or?
But the real question is, what you're working on writing-wise?
Writing-wise, you know what? I'm not working on anything right now. I wrote a memoir just about being a dad that was never intended to be sold. So there's 10 copies of that. My kids thought I was working on like something that was going to be like a pamphlet. And then Christmas Day, 150,000 words in a leather bound, full color photos. So that was really cool. And I may or may not have written an erotic novella under a pseudonym. I'm not saying I did. I'm not saying I didn't.
So now we know what the back selfies are for.
Well, no, that's not romantic. But let me ask you this. Women, how many of you are here with your husbands? All right, what do they give you for your birthday? Flowers, Hallmark card.
Perfume.
Wouldn't you like it if this guy unveiled a 25,000-word erotic novella about you?
It took me 8 years to get him to write me a song
It took, and what was the song?
about him doing dishes that he's never done.
Okay, all right. I think it's a very sensitive present, the erotic novella for your wife's birthday. Yeah, that's right. All right.
Scooby-Doo?
Do you know the voice of Scooby-Doo is here?
He was here right
Scott
before
Ennis,
you.
yeah. I'm doing his convention in Louisiana in December.
Yeah.
Who would you say your Mount Rushmore is for men and women?
For men and women. The men's one, I've answered that a lot more. I would go with Terry Funk. Sorry. Shawn Michaels. Ric Flair, and the Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington. So I told Dynamite's daughter, Bronwyn, I was like, that's the one where people go, oh, that's an interesting choice, but no one's ever said he doesn't belong there. And he's phenomenal. If you have a chance to Google, go to YouTube and watch Tiger Mask versus Dynamite Kid, wow. It's really great stuff. But the main question was about, the women's. I'm going to go with Mildred Burke, Chigusa Nagayo from Japan, Lita, and Becky Lynch. But Rhea Ripley has the potential to be on there in about a year or two. Just a little more time.
Right in the back, straight ahead. Yes. Yep. In the blue and red jacket. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Can we throw that guy out of here? My favorite person to work with in wrestling. Well, I was so lucky. When I was in the Attitude Era, I had not just matches, but programs with all the top guys, The Rock, Steve, Undertaker, Triple H, Kane to some extent, and then I would put on that list also Terry Funk, Big Van Vader, and Sabu, who we just lost a couple weeks ago. If you have a chance to go on my Facebook page or my website, Real Mick Foley, I did sit down for a few hours and wrote something I think deserving of Sabu. I think it's pretty good about how he brought the best out in me when I needed some inspiration. Thanks. Do you have a question?
Yeah.
All right.
You met John Cena?
Have I met him? Not only have I met him, but he threw me out of a conversation about cars because I drove a minivan. Told me I wasn't welcome there. It's for muscle cars and monster truck owners only. Yeah, but he's a really good guy. Believe it or not, you know that song I just sang you, the My Way? Well, I sang it for Mr. Cena's 80th birthday, in Boston, and he had tears streaming down his face. He was really touched by it. So I love Mr. Cena. I really like John. I'm proud to call myself a friend, And I think his acting has gotten so good. Like, he's so good at, he's funny. He's got his own sense of humor, that he brings to the movies, and he's becoming a really good dramatic actor too.
Right by the window there.
Yes. I sure did, yep.
Is there any more coming? Did you enjoy working on that?
I did. Alita and I both enjoyed working on it, but we both feel like the traveling was insane. It was. At least when we flew with WWE, there was some rhyme or reason to where we were flying geographically. With Most Wanted Treasures, it was like, okay, Bill Goldberg can be in Topeka, Kansas in 2 days. And so in 5 days' time, I went from Nashville, Tennessee to, Nashville, Tennessee to Boston to Modesto, California. When I say Topeka, it was actually 2 hours away from Topeka, and there's no nonstop flights to Topeka. And then back to California, and then to Nashville. And what really got me about Modesto, California, is that Lita lives 10 minutes away and volunteered to do it. But because it was Kurt Angle and we found the missing milk truck, that they needed me for that. But it was just a lot of travel. We did enjoy it, but as it turns out, the ratings were good, but not as good as Rivals and Legends, because you just have to, fly a couple people in to do interviews. And so from a dollars and cents standpoint, it didn't make sense to do another season. But I liked it. And Lita had a boyfriend at the time who came up with, I thought, a pretty profound statement about me. He said, "He's like a Rhodes Scholar in the body of a trucker." I said, I'll take that. That's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
I just want to first of all say, Mick, I think you're such a nice complimentary guy and just down to earth, so thank you for being
Well, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
Just one quick comment. I think that the Wrestling Hall of Fame, I think your match with this Hell in a Cell has been the one inducted. I'm a Bret Hart fan. I love him, but your match.
Well, you know what? I think it would make sense. I don't have any say in it. It makes sense if they did it on the 30th anniversary, which is in 3 years. So I would not be surprised if I got that call. I mean, if I did get a call about that, I would even say, can we do it in 2028? I think it'll get up there eventually. I'm not worried about that. And the truth is, you guys, I say you guys, I'm not just pandering to you guys because I know you're too good for it right here in Niagara Falls. I wouldn't do that. So when I say you guys, I mean people all around the country and the world. It's clear to them that match is already in their Hall of Fame. And so I think it's just a matter of time before, you come up with the really great matches. And this is one that, with all due respect to some of the classics, that Flair and Steamboat had, like the Cell match is the only one I know of that people celebrate the anniversary of, right? And that's pretty crazy and pretty big compliment.
Sorry, my question was, sorry for thinking that.
It's okay.
So when it was initially when you came to the WWF at that time, it was Mankind was a character, and then when you started introducing like the Mick Foley and Dude Love, like what was the thinking behind that? Like I always wonder, like, were you guys worried? Like okay, some people only know me as Mankind, they don't know that I used to be Cactus Jack somewhere before, they don't know about Dude Love. Like some people only knew you as Mankind and thought you were like this monster.
Yeah.
Did you guys like worry, like, okay, how's that going to work? If people aren't going to be scared of me anymore if they see this new guy walking?
Well, when by spring of '97, I'd been there 7 or 8 months, and nobody was. I was only supposed to be Mankind. That other doorway opened by virtue of a random conversation I had with Shawn Michaels after a house show match, where he said, "Don't take this the wrong way, but." No sentence ends well that begins with the words, "Don't take this the wrong way." But he said, did you always see yourself this way? Because that character in '96 was pretty dark. And I laughed. I go, no, actually, I wanted to be you. And he looked at me like this. I said, no, not the Heartbreak Kid. But then I told him about this character, Dude Love, I'd created. And Bruce Pritchard overheard the conversation. He went to Mr. McMahon and said, Mick Foley has a much more interesting backstory than you know. And he told him about Dude Love and says he's got video of it. And so they wanted people to understand me more. That was Vince's way of saying he does have an interesting story. And they thought it'd be better for everyone if people knew about it. Because it really, people had no idea that there were even like these crazy matches that took place, let alone that I was like the guy, and coming over here and trying to introduce a little, rougher element to WWE. It wasn't easy. So when he got on board, though, he really got on board. And that was when the different characters started coming out. You got it.
Okay,
This gentleman's got a question there. Yes. Is this not a cool place to see great button-down shirts? Can the guy with the abominable snowman stand up, please? Look at that.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Woo.
And he's got my Christmas memoir, too. Not many people bought that one, but I knew that when I wrote it, That's why I donated all the money to good Christmas causes. If I thought it was going to be a big bestseller, I might have held on to some of them,
Did you have a question?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to know, how big is your personal wrestling library? What do you watch?
How big is my well, I don't, we all stream stuff now. Like, I don't even know where my DVDs are.
Sure.
I haven't watched as much wrestling in the last couple of years as I used to. I'm more about the documentaries now. I used to love the matches. My only knock on the current product is that over the last 5 years, maybe 10 years, fans have come to believe there's only one way to have a great match. And so I see the same type of match too often, and I just think that we have to think outside the box. That's my only regret. They are great matches, but they're not all that different. It's just a matter of who's doing which cool moves and who's kicking out of which false finishes. But that's my only knock. But I still love the storytelling, and so I'll watch the recaps and I'll see what's on YouTube. They suggest a lot of things for me. I watch some of the Dark Side of the Ring. I dabble. My feet are still in there, but I'm not in the deep end anymore. Yeah, but I love it. I still love it, and I always will. It's just I'm taking a little break. I'm like Ross and Jennifer Aniston on Friends.
Oh no.
They were taking a break.
Ross and Rachel.
Yeah, Ross and Rachel. Yeah.
We have time for a couple more questions. I'm sorry, but
wait. Show of hands. Show you how much you know your Foley trivia. Which character on Friends do I have a massive crush on?
I know this. I can give a clue if you want me to.
Give a clue. Janice! Oh, love me some Janice.
Is she still your crush? Yeah?
Yeah. Still can't get over her.
Okay.
Cannot get over her.
In the blue.
You're well known for being, let's call it, conservative with your money.
With my money, okay. Thanks for clarifying, okay.
What would you say is the craziest thing that you've done to try to save?
I think just the bet that Owen Hart and I had where we each embarked on like a 10-day tour with $20 in our pocket, no credit cards allowed. And he tapped out after 4 days and I still had $5 in my pocket. So I'm not that cheap anymore, though. I'm like a 2.5-star motel guy. Like I am. I sometimes 3 stars. And do you get it? WWE, they only pay for your hotel when you're doing media work. But they started putting me in cheap hotels. And I was like, what about the hotels you put the other people in? I said, well, we heard you didn't like classy. And I said, oh, you heard wrong. I may not myself be classy, but I have no problems with a classy hotel. And now I'm in the 4 to 5-star hotels when they ask me to do something for them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where are you tonight?
Where am I tonight?
Like, don't tell us where, but like, is it nice?
Oh.
Yeah. No. Don't.
Bill's, I believe. It's Bill's Motel.
Bills with a Z?
No. Bill's with a Z, yeah. No, I can't tell you where I'm staying.
But
I
it's
can
nice.
tell
I
you where
hope.
I'm staying. I'm just
You're in.
kidding.
You're in.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, maybe one more, sir. Yeah.
In the
sure.
tie-dye. Look
Yeah.
at that. Good.
What was it like going into the Royal Rumble 3 different times with 3 different shirts?
What was it like? I think I know what it's like to be a race car going into a pit stop. But instead of my tires being changed, it was my boots. I had the 17.5-inch, the high boots, lace up. You know, if I had to do it over again, I probably would have gotten some Velcro in there. Because that was an undertaking, you know. I mean, no, not talking about the wrestler, but it was
pun.
quite a feat. And it was just whether I could get changed in time to go back out there. So it was fun. I had no idea when we were doing it that people would look at it like it was one of the greatest moments in Royal Rumble history. Nor did I think when I did the standoff with Sacco and the Cobra with Santino that people would recall it so fondly. So it's all about just creating a moment. You know, I wasn't physically gifted enough to have the great matches as regularly as some others, but I could come up with great moments. And I believe the moments are what you remember more than matches anyway.
Very
Thanks.
nice. Okay. Well, I think we have to spirit you away to your photo op.
Photo ops.
Just like Cinderella.
And do you know what? I have been asked by special request to sit on Lunette's big comfy couch where I first sat 29 years ago
no way.
as Mankind. So we're going to have we're going to be reunited.
Full circle moment.
Yes, you want the last question?
Can I sit with you?
Me and Lunette on the big comfy couch? Only if you can answer my 2 questions for you.
Oh.
These are the last questions of the day.
Okay.
Who is your favorite wrestler and why am I?
It's you, obviously, and because I love how your ear is.
Oh, Here, you can keep this as a memento, okay? You want to come there?
Ear pen.
Yeah, go. It might take me like 10 minutes to. I got my photo ops now, right?
Yeah, you
Photo
do.
ops,
You
and
do.
then so about
3:20. I got
what time's it now?
photo op. It's 3 o'clock now. Your photo op is 3 now.
Oh.
So I'll go up to the big comfy couch and I'll go to my table for like 20 minutes, and then I'll go do the photo op. So come join me at the couch. Can you bring me over to the couch? Okay, thank you. That's my handler, Julia.
Hi, Julia.
Yeah, she's doing a great job.
Well, thank you so much, Mick Foley.
You're welcome.
Thank you for watching this video. I am Invader Zim, and I traffic in doom. And so, if you do not subscribe to this channel, you will have doom that befalls you by me, Invader Zim.